Hello students, today we shall see the lesson The Thief's Story by Ruskin Bond. The story is about a thief. He was just 15 years old. The thief himself is narrating the story. I was still a thief when I met Anil. And though only 15, I was an experienced and fairly successful hand. Anil was watching a wrestling match when I approached him. He was about 25, a tall, lean fellow, and he looked easygoing, kind, and simple enough for my purpose. I hadn't had much luck of late and thought I might be able to get into the young man's confidence. "You look a bit of wrestler yourself," I said. "A little flattery helps in making friends."
"So do you,"
he replied, which put me off for a moment because at that time I was rather thin. "Well, I do wrestle a bit."
"What's your name?"
"Hari Singh." I lied. I took a new name every month. That kept me ahead of police and former employers. After this introduction, Anil talked about well-oiled wrestlers who were grunting, lifting, and throwing each other about. I didn't have much to say. Anil walked away. I followed casually.
"Hello again,"
he said. I gave him my most appealing smile. "I want to work for you."
"But I can't pay you."
I thought that over for a minute. Perhaps I had misjudged my men. "Can you feed me?"
"Can you cook?"
"I can cook." I lied again.
"If you can cook, then maybe I can feed you."
He took me to his room over the Jumna sweet shop. He told me I could sleep on the balcony. But the meal I cooked that night must have been terrible because Anil gave it to a stray dog and told me to be off. But I just hung around, smiling in my most appealing way, and he couldn't help laughing. Later, he patted me on the head and said, "Never mind, he would teach me to cook." He also taught me to write my name and said he would soon teach me to write whole sentences and to add numbers. I was grateful. I knew that once I could write like an educated man, there would be no limit to what I could achieve. It was quite pleasant working for Anil. I made the tea in the morning and then would take my time buying the day's supplies, making profit of about a rupee a day. I think he knew I made a little money this way, but he did not seem to mind. Anil made money by fits and starts. He would borrow one week, lend the next. He kept worrying about his next check. But as soon as it arrived, he would go out and celebrate. It seems he wrote for magazines, a way to make a living. One evening, he came home with a small bundle of notes, saying he had just sold a book to a publisher. I saw him tuck the money under the mattress. I had been working for Anil for almost a month and, apart from cheating on the shopping, had not done anything in my line of work. I had every opportunity for doing so. Anil had given me a key to the door, and I could come and go as I pleased. He was the most trusting person I had ever met. And that is why it was so difficult to rob him. It's easy to rob a greedy man because he can afford to be robbed. But it's difficult to rob a careless man. Sometimes he doesn't even notice he is being robbed, and that takes all the pleasure out of the work. Well, it's a time I did some real work. I am out of practice. And if I don't take the money, he'll only waste it on his friends. After all, he doesn't even pay me. Anil was asleep. A beam of moonlight stepped over the balcony and fell on the bed. I sat up on the floor, considering the situation. If I took the money, I could catch the 10:30 express to Lucknow